do we believe the Utah Jazz? And what I mean by that is like,
I know exactly what you
know
mean.
exactly what I mean. So Jason,
I mean,
like, because first of all, I always get scared of teams who a lot of their points come from shooting. And I know, and just so people, I understand the NBA metrics and analytics, but we've seen what happened to the Houston Rockets. If you have if you go cold, if you don't make shots when it matters, when a lot of your points, I mean, we're talking 50 points per game. If 50 points alone are from the 3-point line, to me, that's scary. Like, I need reassurance that if we're not making shots, we're still a highly effective team. Do we believe the Jazz? Like, in the playoffs, are they going to the end of your bracket? They're the #1 seed. Are you going to put them to the end of your, like how is that looking?
Two things. I believe that they are a very, very good team, and I believe that they are a contender. I don't believe that in many of these matchups, right, that they would have, let's say, Jazz, let's say it's Jazz Warriors first round. They don't have the best player on the floor in that series. Okay. Jazz Dallas. I don't think they have the best player on the floor in that series. And that is kind of the issue for them. Listen, I think that they play a very particular
style. If Donovan Mitchell hears this, woo! Well, you saw what happened when Shaq said something.
I mean, I think Donovan Mitchell is really good. I think the chemistry that he has with Gobert is incredibly important. I think that they're getting great shooting and contributions from Bogdanovich. Royce O'Neal has done like yeoman's work. Joe Ingles is solid. Jordan Clarkson, arguably the best bench player in the league, best bench scorer in the league, found his niche finally in the NBA. I just think that for one, they play a very particular defensive style that does not really allow them to switch. Okay, so what happens when they start playing these kind of like teams that are going to demand that they switch? That's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens there. And then I think, too, their second best player, Rudy Gobert, some would say their first. Their most important player, some would say. You just can't count on him offensively at all, particularly down the stretch. Like, that's not where you're getting your scoring. It's going to be Donovan Mitchell, right? And hopefully you get contributions from Connolly and Bogdanovich and others. But to your point, let's say they go dry, okay, which happens in the playoffs because that's what happens.
43 threes a game, and they shoot like 20% clip.
Yes, teams know that, and they will work to take away those threes. Okay. Gobert, they're not throwing it to you, right, in the last 5 minutes of a close game. Donovan Mitchell, what can you do? That's what happens at that point. It's Donovan Mitchell's game, and can he be the guy that wins them games at that point? I think he can, but I also think it's a question mark. I just think that when you get, I think it's a little bit of a question mark, and I also think that part of this perception is the fact that, one, it's Utah, and we've never really seen them. It's been 1998 since they were like a real contender for the finals. And so a part of this is we haven't seen it, and then a part of this is like Mitchell is untested, I think, as that guy, still a little bit untested. So it's a little bit we haven't seen it.
So the question
all of which
really
is to say is I don't fully believe in them. I don't, because listen, the LeBron and AD, it's like that's a finals appearance every time, right? So
yeah, it's
I
tough.
Just
That's
don't know
why
if I
I asked
believe in
it, because even take a number 4 team of the Nuggets. I mean, they have a Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic. Like, they have Will Barton, Michael Porter Jr. They have firepower, and so yeah, I think the real question. That's why it's like the Utah Jazz have shown us nothing but that we should believe it. But it's just that everyone. I mean, when you win 22 straight home games, like, we should believe it, but I understand that not all of us, we don't all necessarily believe it. So it's going to be interesting. Teams like that is going to be interesting.
How about the Suns? First of all, I'm just really happy for Suns fans. It has been a really rough few years here in the post-Nash years. Devin Booker, obviously one of the brightest lights, young stars in the league. I can't believe he's like, what is he, 24, I think, or just turned 20, about to turn 25. Like, he is so young and so good. And now with Chris Paul adding that really veteran, I can get to my spot, I know how to call a basketball game and how to dictate flow at any time kind of expertise. Now the Suns are surging 37-15. They're 18-6 against teams with winning records, which is best in the NBA. Now they had the easiest schedule in the NBA through week 15, but like they're a good team. And they're sitting at number 2, which would have them play maybe Dallas. And yet again, here you go again. It's another bloodbath. Let me ask you this. Let's say it's Suns-Dallas. Based on that matchup, are the Suns more likely to get to the Western Conference Finals or lose in the first round?
They're likely to get there. I believe the Suns can beat a Dallas Mavericks team. I mean, honestly, we played a Suns team, and with us being, when I say we, I told you guys at the top of this, I'm all Hawks all the time. But when we played Phoenix, we lost to them 117-110, and I believe that was a very winnable game. Like, I know that players, I know all players are probably like, oh yeah, well, Phoenix didn't shoot well, but we executed our scouting report, and I felt like we could have beaten them. So having said that, still, I think they're a beatable team, but I think that they, against a team like Dallas, I think they match up better than a team like us. Honestly, I think that they're one of the teams to, they're scarier to me than Utah Jazz. Just offer up. I know they're the
I love this take.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Because first of all, you got Chris Paul, who knows, and a lot of people are going to say, well, does he really know how to win if he's never won? Yes, he knows what winning looks like. He's, as most people talk about, he's probably one of the best leaders in the NBA. So whenever you have a guy like that in your foxhole, you're already one up. Then you got a Devin Booker, who everyone for years and years and years have talked about how Phoenix Suns have been underachievers. Like, man, all that talent over there, why can't they win? And so he hears that. He wants to be a part of a good one. I think they just have the weapons. Just when you look at their roster, they have the right weapons that when you match them up against whoever, you can see, I can see how they could compete. Some teams, I just don't, I don't believe it.